just coming here, it's been a blessing. I never expected to be out here, but having prior relationships with Coach Kidley, Coach Hamby, B. Lee, Kosai, Scoop, a lot of the guys from my time at Texas Tech has made the transition a lot easier for me. And then just being in Florida, like, it's not too many places you can go that's better than Boca Raton. So as far as just being out here, like, the transition's been smooth. Everybody's super friendly, eager to help, and always asking me for questions if I need anything. So it's been really good.
How has the assimilation into the rest of the defensive line room? That's a room that thankfully had some continuity and some leadership in it before you got here. I'm sure they welcomed you in, but has it been a hard process to learn the system, or did your time at Texas Tech help that?
No, the guys have been awesome as far as just kind of getting acclimated to the room. I think all the hard work we put in kind of really allows you to bond very fast. The extra work, the early mornings, the Saturdays have really helped in that aspect. And then as far as the defense goes, I feel like football is pretty much similar on all types of levels. Whenever you're going from school to school, it's just the difference in terminology and things of that nature. Fun fact, Coach Dewhurst played with my older brothers at Texas Tech, which is crazy little tidbit, but his scheme has been awesome. I think it'll really allow us to play fast and make plays, but it hasn't really been any difficulty trying to learn the system at all.
Other than you started off at Texas Tech and then SMU.
Right.
We don't really know a lot about your background. You come from an athletic family.
Definitely.
Is it a big family? Tell us about that.
Right. So I'm the youngest of 4 brothers. There's a 15-year age gap between me and the oldest. They're twins, and they played at Texas Tech from 2005 to 2009. So growing up as a kid, I was a Texas Tech fan. During the Leach years, the game where Crabtree scored against Texas, it was a huge game. Like, we were at that game. So just growing up in a big football family. I have another brother, Bryce, who was 3 years older than me. He won the national championship at Texas A&M Commerce, which was a D2 school at the time, and now they're Division I, and then he transferred to North Texas. So been growing up watching football my whole life. I also played basketball on the UIBL circuit, the Nike AAU League, and then also on the Adidas Gauntlet. So growing up, huge sports family, football and basketball year-round, never stop.
At what point did you have to make a choice between football and basketball?
Right. So going into my junior year is when I stopped playing travel basketball. I still played like at the school and everything, but playing in the summers and everything, I was taking visits, going to camps and things like that. So I wasn't able to play travel basketball. I still try to go to the rec center when I can. I know my coaches probably don't like that too much. They want me to get injured, but still love basketball. Always have, always will.
Yeah. Being an interior defensive lineman, it's not always about making plays, which you're capable of doing, but sometimes it's just eating up that double team, and you've got the size and the strength to do that. Is that something that you realize that's part of my job? I'm not always going to make a play.
Definitely. I think it's a mentality. Anytime you talk about the interior defensive line, like, that's the reality. Like, you're going to be taking on double teams. Like, your job isn't always to make the play. But anytime you have a great defense, like, there's always a stout interior. Like, if a team can run the ball down the middle, you don't really have a defense. So just knowing your role and playing to the best of your ability, if you take on that mindset, like, the plays will come to you when you're supposed to make your plays. So
the first thing that Coach Kitt said about you was he called you his kryptonite. So being able to have that effect already, where you have a dude who's running the offense that we run, and be like, this is the guy that's been shutting us down and making plays against us. How nice and how rewarding is that for you to be able to come here and almost immediately be making an impact with
Right. No, it's definitely kind of crazy hearing that come from Coach Kidley. Obviously, like, knowing the type of wizard he is offensively and just trying to combat the things that he schemes up. It's nice hearing him say that. I think that kind of what I mentioned earlier with my basketball background, I'm able to not just be big, but be athletic and kind of impact the game in a lot of ways, get my hands in passing lanes, retracing on screen passes, things like that. So I'm just trying to play hard, play as fast as I can, and it's been paying off, and the coaches are noticing.
From the start of spring until now, what do you think has been the biggest thing you've improved on? And practice to practice, what's been your mentality in approaching, whether it's learning the defensive scheme or just playing football on the field?
Right. I think my biggest thing is just being more consistent. I feel like I've always had the ability, but the consistency hasn't always been there. Whether it's been my hand placement, playing with good pad level, things like that. So that's the one thing I'm trying to work on the most. And then just going through the rest of the spring, like, I know that I'm obviously competing against my teammates, but I have bigger goals, and I know that I need to not just be thinking about my competition here on this field, but the competition going into the season, and then obviously I want to go to the NFL. So knowing the type of talent that I will have to play against one day, just keeping that in the back of my mind and knowing that the standard isn't here, but I need to keep elevating myself.
Has being in this room helped you elevate your game, whether it's been working with some of the returners or some of the new guys?
No, it definitely has. I think Coach Santana, he's been awesome as far as just pushing every day. Even before like we started spring ball, we were getting extra work in the off season, watching film, doing self-evaluations, watching NFL tape. So really just trying to add as many tools as we can to our toolbox. And then just working alongside some of the guys that were here last year, it really pushed me. They took me and kind of showed me the drills and allowed me to learn from them. So being in a room that have guys that want to compete, they want to win, they work hard, has really been nice to be alongside them.
Because obviously everybody's still pretty unfamiliar with you outside of the people that are in this building. If you had to say to the fans, like, what can we expect out of you as we get ready for this season? And then also, like, what are some pro comp, I guess is the right word? Like, what are some guys that you modeled your game after as well?
Right, so just some things that the fans could expect. I'm a high energy guy. I feel like being as big as I am, like, people don't really expect me to have the type of tempo that I play with, the athleticism that I play with. So just being a big athletic guy, kind of showing that on the field, being physical, and not only doing it in the run game, but being able to get pass rushes, get my hands up in the pass lanes, bat the balls, things of that nature. And then as far as a pro comp, growing up I watched a lot of J.J. Watt. I think Cam Hayward is a good one, as physical as he is, and he's been doing it for, I think going on almost 17, 18 years now with the Steelers. So just the consistency that he plays with, being a technician, but still being violent is something that I want to model my game after.